Hi Risha,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, so Risha, so can we start interview session now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Risha, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah. Shinoy. I am a computer science graduate from Ramia Institute of Technology. I have a total of 16 months of internship experience, including Morgan Stanley, which is my most recent one. Apart from this, I'm a full stack developer, and my proficiency is in front end development and user experience. I've worked on multiple projects in web development, mobile application, web extensions, etc. I also have an app on Play Store which currently has 1500 plus downloads. Apart from this, I'm an extrovert. I love to talk to different people, interact with everyone, and get to know different people's point of view as well.
Okay, so yeah, can you just tell me more about that Morgan Stanley internship experience?
So the internship lasted 6 months. It was a spring internship from January to July, and it was pretty great. I mean, it's a great company as well, and the culture was absolutely great. And I worked on a full stack project where I had to do both front end and back end for like a pretty integral tool of the company. So I got to work on that, and at the same time there were a lot of volunteer drives and different things about it. So it was a pretty great experience, and it was the first time I worked in like a huge corporate firm, so that was a new thing for me as well.
Okay, yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, so Risha, I have shared a lead code interview link in the chat. Okay, can you just click on and share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's start with a very basic question. Okay, uh, so you know how to swap the numbers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So usually, like we need to we swap the numbers maybe by using most oftenly we use we use third variable to swap, correct? We use third variable to swap the two numbers, and also we can use the addition operation to swap, like that is also fine. But I want you to swap the two numbers without using any addition operation and as well as another variable like third variable. How can you do it? Let's say I'll give two variables, let's say A and B. Okay.
Okay.
So let's say 5 and 4.
Okay.
Perfect. So I want you to swap these two numbers, okay, without using another variable like third variable. And one more condition is you should not use addition operation to perform the same. Like
Okay. Can I use any other operation, like say subtraction, maybe?
no, not exactly. Yeah, let's forget addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division.
Okay. Okay. So I have to. Okay. Swap the numbers without using extra space. What if I just use the function itself, the inbuilt STL function of swap?
That is not allowed.
Okay.
You have to think like, so can you do something bitwise? I can give one hint. So
Okay. Bitwise. Uh, Not too sure.
yeah, try.
Okay. How about I create a third variable, say int c, where c will be a XOR b. So now if I yeah, I think this would do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an int variable c, which is going
Okay.
to be
Uh, okay. I told like you should not use any other variable except A and B. You should not create not even another variable.
okay.
I told
Okay.
A, B. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're going right. Like, so you can use XOR, but you need to
Okay.
do some. Yeah.
I'll try doing A equal to A XOR B. Now it kind of contains both the values. Now I'll do B equal to second 5. Okay, so great. So A equal to A XOR B. So it'll have 5 XOR 4. Now I'm going to do B equal to A XOR B. That way 5 XOR 4 XOR 4. So B is going to be 5. So that is swapped. Now if B is 5, I'm going to do A equal to A XOR B. I think this should do. Let me just see. So A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 4. I'm going to do A as 5 XOR 4. And now B equal to 5 XOR 4 XOR 4. So B is now 5. And now I'm going to do A equal to 5 XOR 4 XOR B, which is 5. Yeah, so this should do the swapping.
Yeah, so can you print? I think it works.
Okay. Yeah, I think this thing. Sorry. Okay, so see out A. Yep.
So it must
So A
be
is
4, 5.
4 and B
Okay,
is 5.
great. Yeah, perfect. So 1 second, I be there in the same panel. I'll switch the question here. So let's have one more question.
Okay.
Switch question, confirm. That's great. Yeah, fine. So go through this question.
Okay.
If you have any doubts, let
Right.
me.
So, okay. I need to convert it into the number. So I need to convert a Roman symbol to its Arabic number.
Equivalent
Okay.
numeric number.
Yes. So we have the literal translations for IV, XL, CDM. The problem arises when a smaller value is behind a larger value, say IV. So then we have to do 5
Four.
minus
Yeah.
1. So that matters over there. So what I'm gonna do is okay, so I'm just gonna create just a minute.
Yeah. Think.
I'm thinking of creating a map. I'm gonna create a map of key value pairs.
Okay. Okay.
And
You are telling like suppose I4 arises, that also you will store in a map, correct? That is what you are thinking, right?
that's what I
Yeah.
either have two
Mm,
options. I store IV or whatever in the map, or I go through a
mm,
for loop while iterating and I see if the value of an index is lesser
mm,
than its next index. Then you know that you have to do a different operation. So I'm choosing between these two. Either store that
mm.
in the map as well, but then I think we'll have to store a lot of combinations. So
I don't think no.
I'll go.
You can
Okay.
store max 10, right? Like IV you will get and IX,
Mhm.
correct, right? For 10.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I have to go IX, IL, IC, ID, IM, VX, VL, VC, VD, VM, XL, XC, XD,
I
XM.
do think that's not required. Like think
Okay.
about it.
I can be, oh, we have conditions as well.
IX,
Okay, sorry.
like you will not.
Okay. Yeah, cool then. I'll use an unordered map
Okay.
of, we have been given the string. Yeah, okay. So of string and I'm gonna call it M. So now I'm gonna say M of I. Do it. This I equal to 1. And I have to do this quite a couple of times. Oops. Okay, this will be V. And 5. This will be X. and then this will be L and 50. This will be C will be 500. Then N will be 1000. Now we check for these instances as well. So M of IV will store it as 4 and M of IX, oops, will store it as 9.
So equal to like
M of XL stored as, what is it? XL is 40 and very long. M of
long one. Yeah.
XC will store it as 90. M of CD would be 400 and M of CM would be 900. Yep, so we have everything. Now what is our range? So S has a minimum length of 1. Okay, so I'm just gonna do for int I equal to 0, I less than S dot size I plus plus variety rating. And okay, so I'm gonna have another integer int answer 0. Okay, so now if I'm just gonna create a temporary variable. I'm gonna call it temp ans of I plus ans of I plus 1. If m of temp are equal to 0, then answer plus equal to m of temp, else answer plus equal to m of ans of I. So I think,
Can you just explain this to me? So I didn't
yeah.
get this.
Okay, so I'm creating a temporary string of the current, what is that? Current value. So like if, let's say if I'm taking IV, so it's going to store I and V. So the string is going to be IV. So I'm checking if this string is in the map. If it is not, if it is not,
No, no. Answer of I, right? So you declared on ANS as a integer, right?
oh, it's just supposed to be string. My bad. Thank you. So string, yeah, and string. Yeah. So I'm gonna store the two values of the string and I'm gonna check if it's in the map. If it's not in the map, then I'm adding it as the answer, and then I need to change the. I have to do. Okay, I have some extra things to do. Okay, so first of all, I do this, and then I'm gonna do I plus plus, and then I'm gonna continue. So if there are two integers, I mean, if two of them, then I'm going to store it. I'm going to check it and add it to the answer. So if it's one of
Got it.
these, this is going to
Mhm.
happen. Else,
Got
this
it.
is going to happen. So
Got it.
let's just hope this works and we don't get like a string interpolation
You
error.
just need to return. You just need to return answer, I guess. I guess you need to return, right?
Okay, let's hope it works. Okay.
Yeah, that's as usual.
Oh, okay, so I'll use substring then. I'm not sure of the substring. Does that work? SFI
You
is
can
an error.
standard output down and
I'm sorry?
you can check like you wanted to see what actually it is printing, right? I do think like you can check the standard output down there. Like you can get to know like what exactly it is printing.
It's
Before
showing compile error. That is the problem.
no. Before that, you just try to print that print right.
Okay.
So for that, like you can think like what exactly SFI is printing. Maybe down here. Maybe can you just scroll
Compile
down?
error
Suppose
again.
yeah,
Can't.
27th. 27th.
I think this has to do with.
Okay. So even I not so C++ to help you with these functions. Like so you can try, but the way that you have written the code, showing like it works. Some errors
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, it's probably this thing only character and string interpolation. So it's taking this as a character, and I am doing to string, but I don't know why it's not, you know.
Okay. So Risha, fine. So I'm okay with this approach. Fine. Like I just want an approach to solve this. Like I got
Okay.
your answer, like how you're trying. Okay. So now let's switch. Come back. Stop your screen share. That's fine now.
Yeah.
Right. Fine. Okay. So like, how do you rate yourself? In computer networks,
Um,
suppose
I
concepts
wouldn't
of
say
computer.
I'm the greatest. I wouldn't say
Mm,
I'm good. I'd probably say average. Maybe, I can get around learning something and then being good at it. But yeah,
mm-hmm.
that's about it.
Okay. So have you heard about HTTP protocol?
Yeah, hypertext transfer protocol.
Okay. Fine. So you must have heard that HTTP protocol is called as stateless protocol. Correct, right?
I'm sorry, it's
Have you
called this?
stateless protocol? Stateless
Yes.
protocol. Why? Why so?
Because it doesn't really store a state. It's just transferring data and it's done with it. So you have no memory of what you've done with it before and all that. So you're just
Oh,
sending it and you're done.
okay. Fine. That's correct. Okay. What about, have you heard about cookies?
Yeah.
Cookies. Yeah. How they work? How do they work?
So basically, cookie is when the server wants to store some information about you. Let's say, if you visited something, or let's say when you go to websites, you see all these, or you accept the cookies. So what is happening is basically cookies are generated by the server and they are stored in your web browser. It is the information that the server needs about you when you use that website or
Got it. Got it. Fine. Okay. Fine. Have you heard the term late binding in Java?
late binding. Not really, but I think it's something to do with runtime binding, maybe.
Yeah, something. Yeah, somewhat correct. Okay,
I'm
fine.
not too sure,
You're
but
close. Fine, correct. Yeah, it like something related to runtime. Fine. Like let's ask like this. Okay, so overloading in Java, right? Correct, right? Function overloading or method
yes.
overloading. Correct.
Hmm?
Fine. So this what exactly this overloading?
So basically, function overloading, for example, is when you
Hmm.
have the same function name, but it can
Mm-hmm.
have like a different return type or different number of arguments that are sent to that function. So let's say we have int sum equal to of int of a and int of b, and we have the function. And let's say we have double of sum and double a and double b. So that would be like a different type of
Okay.
overloading.
Yeah. So this is how like late binding is related to this. Like because so the function will be decided which function I need to use. That will be decided during the runtime. Okay. So this follows the late
Okay.
binding. So I hope you got it. because the function which needs to be selected uh, will be selected during the runtime because of
Understood.
so this term is called late binding. Like this is an example for that. Fine, great.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Let's come to the network again. So you have heard about IP protocol, right? Internet protocol.
Yes.
Yeah. So and then you also heard about the versions of IP. We have IPv4 and IPv6, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you go back few years back, like okay, so we used IPv4, correct? So now
Mm-hmm.
all of the devices which are coming with now support with IPv6. Okay, so we rarely use this IPv4 supported device. If we are using, they are old devices. Okay, so what could be the reason to switch from IPv4 to IPv6?
So technically IPv4 has
Hmm.
32 bits and
Okay,
IPv6 has 128 bits. So when it comes to
okay,
32 bits, we have a total of say 2 power 32 different IP addresses that are available. So apparently I think we've just run out of IP addresses because of the number of devices and IP addresses that we have.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we needed to increase it. So and IPv6 with the 128 bits, that is 2 to the power 128, is quite a huge number. And so that way, I think to accommodate that, we had to increase the number of IP addresses.
Yeah, correct, exactly. Okay, suppose now let's assume like we have, uh, mm, let's say IPv4 support device as of now, along with me, and I wanted to make this IPv4 device to be supported with IPv6. Getting my point? Did you got my question? Okay. So, like the data packets which sends by this IPv4, okay, needs to be modified to IPv6. How can you do this? Is there any process to perform that? Have you heard about the process that we perform to convert this IPv4 to IP v6 like that packets?
I'm not really sure, but what I can think of from like the knowledge I have is IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 is like a binary number, and IPv6 is like a hexadecimal number. So
Okay.
maybe using that information, maybe you can convert to something. But other than that, I'm not really sure.
Okay. Yeah, you are somewhat close, but the operation will go like that only. But we have process called tunneling. Okay. So
Okay.
that is the one which will help you to. Okay, that's fine. Okay, no problem. Okay. So suppose let's work on some comments. Okay. Uh, if you okay, and let's say we have two devices. Let's say me and your device. Okay. Maybe you are there in maybe Bangalore and I am residing here in Assam. Okay. So when I let's say when I send some file or something, okay, to you, so it has to go through a different channels, okay, and it has to follow different routers. Like my data packets has to follow different routers to reach to your system, correct, right? So if you wanted to trace these uh, routes, like which router it has first reached and second which router it has reached, if you wanted to know that, which particular command you're gonna use?
Uh, if I have to trace, I have actually done this. I'm not able to exactly recall.
Yeah,
Uh, so basically, you want the information of the routing table, like
yeah,
to send
correct.
it from one place to another. So,
Okay, so
sure.
then I'll give one clue. So the name itself, like what you're doing in that only, the name of the command is also almost same. Like we have discussed those words here. So can you just
Is
try?
it route?
Uh, so you told that it basically prints the routing table, correct? That command, what we are actually thinking, discussing as of now. Okay, so the name of the command is almost same, like just like system info, what we have discussed late, just before.
Print route?
Huh? Sorry.
Is it print route?
No, like a route is correct, and you can like replace that print with some other word. That word we
Uh,
have discussed. Trace route.
Trace route? Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Fine. That's great. Fine. So have you heard about the word demon? So now let's come to let's ask like this. Okay. So I just want to know that suppose when you write this Java program, let's say you write Java program. Okay.
Mhm.
So before executing, like so before you getting output, it like if you wanted to run it, okay, it will go under different stages. Like it will you will give it to the Java compiler. Java compiler will do something. After that, you give it to some other component of the JRE. Correct, right? So how does this happen? Can you just tell about this? Like how Java program, the stages of execution of this Java program.
As far as I remember, so Java
Mm,
code, when you compile it, so it
mm.
creates like a byte code. If
Yeah, correct,
okay,
correct, exactly correct.
okay,
Yeah,
it creates a byte code,
mm,
and there's also a JVM which is called the Java Virtual Machine, because of which you can
yeah,
run the Java code like in any device and all. And you don't have to. It's independent of the device and the operating system basically. So
yes.
the JVM helps to do this, and you're creating it into byte code, and then the byte code is executed, and you get your output.
Okay, fine. Okay, so then what is JRE? Have you heard about JRE, Java Runtime
Java
Environment?
runtime environment. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh, JRE is what runs the byte code.
JVM is the one which runs the bytecode, but JRE supports
Okay.
the required libraries. Yeah, you should because this is one of the questions
Yeah.
that I got when I got interviewed for
Okay.
mobile.
Okay.
So this is something
I will
which
look
may
into
be
that.
important. Yeah, one more question here itself. Like suppose I told about bytecode, right? Okay. So Java program will get converted into bytecode. You as you told, like bytecode is platform independent. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can run this in any other operating systems, provided if you have JVM in that operating system. Okay? Yeah. So, but so can we suppose now somebody give bytecode to me. Okay, let's say so you have a Java program and you have given that to your Java compiler. Java compiler convert that Java programming code into the bytecode. Correct? Fine. So now, if let's say you have done this task and you have given bytecode to me. Okay. So now, can I use that bytecode? Okay. Basically, I can use that bytecode to get an output of that program which you have written earlier. But here my question is, so if I have that bytecode, can I convert that back to the? Is it possible for me to convert that bytecode back to the Java programming language? It's like a reverse. Getting my point? Did you understood my question?
Yeah.
So we can convert usually with the help of that JVM. We can convert that Java like Java bytecode to the output. Like so, correct, right? So here my question is different. Right? So how can we use that bytecode? Okay, to bring back to its original state, like the Java program, the lines of code. Is it possible for us to do that? If yes, like which tool we're gonna use?
Not sure.
Yeah, you should. This is also one question which they ask. Okay, we have something called as JAD, JAD. Okay, so I want you to go through it once. Okay,
Okay, sure.
so what it will do, it will retrieve the byte code. Like it will retrieve the Java code from the byte code. Getting my point? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so. Fine. So you heard about reference models in computer networks, right? Reference models.
The models.
Yeah, models. Yeah, reference
Okay. Okay.
models.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
networking reference model. Yeah. So can you just name a few if you?
Uh, s- the OSI model.
Yes, perfect.
TCP/IP
One more,
transport.
which is more standard now. OSI is old.
The
Fine. And I
TCP/IP
have we
protocol.
use Yeah, exactly correct. Fine. Okay. So OSI model, right? So can you just expand OSI, full form of OSI?
It's open systems interconnections.
That's correct. Great. Okay. How many layers we have in this?
In OSI model, we have 7 layers.
Okay. So yes, tell me the functionality of presentation layer in the OSI model, OSI reference model.
Presentation. So presentation is the second layer, which comes after application layer. So it is
Hmm.
used for data translation, data
Hmm.
encryption, decryption, and data compression.
Correct. Exactly correct. What about network layer then?
Network layer is like one of the most important layers. First of all, it is
Hmm.
mainly used for making sure that the source to destination, it's working from source to destination, and make sure of that. Apart from
Hmm.
this, it's very useful in logical addressing. So we get to know we add the IP address of the source and the destination. This stuff is done by the network, and apart from this, it is also very important in routing.
Okay. Great. Correct. Almost correct. Yeah. Fine. So have you heard about the term TTL? TTL.
Time to live.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So how like we often use this TTL in communication, like, so just to ensure what exactly the importance of TTL.
So kind of so basically every packet or every let's just say every packet for simplicity basis, every packet has a time to live. So basically it can live
Mm,
for this much amount of time, and if the work is
mm.
not done by that much amount of time, then the packet is just it's just dead.
It will be discarded. That is what you're telling, right?
Discarded. Okay, yeah, sorry, better terms, discarded.
Okay, fine. And one more question, like, have you heard about the term MTU? MTU in networks. MTU.
MPU. No.
Okay, I'll okay. Suppose if I tell that, I think you can tell about that. Yeah, maximum transmission unit. Suppose
Oh,
maximum
yes,
transmission unit.
maximum transmission unit.
Yeah. So what is it? What is the importance of this MTU term there?
It is basically used for like actually knowing the data rate and stuff, and it is
Hmm.
amount of data you can like transmit in the number of packets maybe in sending or receiving.
Okay, somewhat close. Yeah. So what my question is just the importance of this MTU, because like, correct, right, suppose when the transmission is happening in between the source and destination. Okay. So before sending, okay, the data packets to the destination, we should understand like how much that destination can receive from the source. Okay. So maybe when we are having this transport layer protocol like TCP or UDP, we have this uh, correct, right? So what happens, like, so it will inform us, like, so when we establish a connection in between, because we can establish the connection only after the working of this transmission layer protocols like TCP or whatever UDP, correct, right? Okay. So while acknowledging it, it also return back this MTU. Okay. So come, hey source, you can send this much amount of data to me. Otherwise, I can't store it, because the maximum capacity which is available from my side for receiving is only this one. So this is gonna send that to the source. So accordingly, source starts sending it. So getting my point. So if it is
Yes.
like destination is not able to receive that much amount of data packets, so like the connection, like it will not establish a connection furthermore. Getting my point. Otherwise,
Yes.
in some other cases, like it also signifies one more point. Sometimes the data needs to be fragmented. Getting my points
Mhm.
before transferring it. Okay, so based on the MTU, okay, so MTU is also help us to fragment, like how we can you know fragment the data. Like suppose if we have lot data, so we need to fragment it before sending to the destination. So that is the importance of this term MTU there. Okay, that's all from my side. Like I tried. Then fine. Now one more question from my side. Like I have interviewed you. Like I tried.
It was pretty good actually, and even like when I didn't understand a question, you had the patience to sit and explain it me through. And even like as an interviewer, you give me hints here and there, so that was also another nice aspect. And yeah, I like the overall performance. I mean, like, didn't at all
But
feel like
like
this was a mock interview. I definitely felt I was like entering a real interview, and the whole interface added to it the fact that there was a whole platform to work this with, the coding playground, and everything, like with the input output, everything was sought out. And yeah, so it made it feel very real. And the whole thing seemed like very flawless from the beginning to the end. So thank you for this opportunity, by the way, and thank you for taking your time for doing this. I'm really, really grateful, and I'm really
thank you.
happy with what you're doing.